Where will Derek Stingley fall in the draft, and do you feel any connection to him as an LSU brethren?
I absolutely feel. I mean, I feel like he's an LSU guy. I don't know if I don't feel like he's my brother because I didn't play at LSU, but I feel like he's definitely an LSU guy, and I don't think he's going to slip in the draft. I really do. I think it's easy right now to call him out. You hadn't seen him play a lot of football. It's easy to turn on the freshman film and ask, hey, I wonder if he can still do that. I hadn't seen him do that in the last 2 years consistently, right? But then he's going to test. And it's going to take some big balls to pass on Stingley after he tests. Because he's going to jump, run, broad jump, and ball skill on the field is going to mesmerize somebody. Because he's just that type of athlete. I expect him to run 4.3. I expect him to jump 41. I expect him not to drop any type of pass on the skill development field. His back pedal to the break is going to be textbook perfect because he's been doing it since he's been in 8th grade. All that stuff, fundamentals, technique, all that stuff is going to be just glaring check marks in passing. Does he have some question marks about his physical toughness and his mental toughness on playing football? I think that there's probably going to be some curious people within the interview. But once you put him on the field and once you turn on the 19 film and you are paid to put a football team together and that guy's on the board and you pass on him for another DB, you better be secure in your job. Because, I mean, if he is Stingley, right? Like, I mean, if he's the guy, if he's 2019 and he's motivated and he's ready to get back on the field and he's got everything that he needs as far as health and all the stuff that he needs to get there, come on, are we debating whether or not there's really a defensive back in this draft better than that cat? So I think once he gets to the testing, and I don't think obviously he didn't work out in the combine, but he'll be ready for pro day. And once that pro day workout comes and goes, he will be right back atop of the top cornerback on the board. I think that doesn't get out of the top 10. I think Houston makes a lot of sense for trading in. I think the Jets make a lot of sense up in New York. I think they're at 5 or 4.
They have 2 top 10 picks, I think.
Do they have 2 top 10s? So, I mean, that could be a possible landing spot.
I mean, it's going to be do you imagine it like a Jamar Chase scenario whenever he shows up to pro day and works out, they're just going to be like, oh, shit, I forgot how athletic and good he is. Because that's what happened to Jamar. He sat out the entire year, didn't really hear from him, shows up at pro day and blazes, jumps high, and then runs all the routes, and everybody's like, oh, he's the best wide receiver in the draft.
Yeah.